наука первого форума ректоров России и Таиланда. Я хочу представиться, я проректор по научной работе Санкт-Петербургского государственного экономического университета Горбашко Елена Анатольевна. Я выступлю сегодня модератором нашей сессии. У нас с вами очень большой график, поскольку мы должны выслушать все заявленные выступления, а это 7 выступлений и еще видеообращение нашего коллеги из Таиланда. Все выступления очень интересные, с моей точки зрения сбалансированы и раскрывают тематику нашей сегодняшней сессии. Ну, прежде всего, я хочу поприветствовать от лица нашей сессии представителей университетов Королевства Таиланд. Для нас очень важно и очень интересно сегодняшнее общение. Мы работаем на протяжении всей недели в рамках форума, но сегодня в рамках сессии мы будем рассматривать очень нужные и очень перспективные направления сотрудничества, образования и наука, возможности интеграции этих направлений, возможности интеграции с реальным сектором экономики. Мы постараемся продемонстрировать те наработки, те достижения, которые есть у наших университетов. И я думаю, что в конечном итоге мы придем с вами к определенным идеям и направлениям нашего совместного сотрудничества. Прежде всего, я хотела бы попросить спикеров придерживаться регламента выступлений, исходя из того, что у нас ограниченный период времени и предлагается для выступления 10 минут. Мы прослушаем все выступления, и после этого в конце мы проведем дискуссию. Надеюсь, что у нас останется время, и мы все будем придерживаться регламента, проведем с вами дискуссию и ответим на соответствующие вопросы. А дальше, я думаю, что после проведения нашей сессии мы остаемся в распоряжении друг друга и сможем взаимодействовать уже в оперативном порядке и с университетами Таиланда. У нас все будут предоставлены возможности координат, и с российскими университетами. Мы также предоставляем такую возможность тайской стороне и нашим российским университетам-партнерам. Ну а сейчас, если вы позволите, я хотела бы на правах все-таки модератора и университета, который координирует работу по проведению форума, сделать небольшую презентацию о развитии научных исследований и интеграции их с образованием и бизнесом в нашем университете, Санкт-Петербургском государственном экономическом университете. Так, уважаемые коллеги, тематика исследовательской программы в нашем университете тесно связана с программой интеграции науки, образования и бизнеса. Ну, прежде всего, я 2 слова скажу буквально об университете. Дело в том, что мы университет с очень такой серьезной и большой историей, но вот в этом формате, в котором мы существуем сейчас, Санкт-Петербургский государственный экономический университет, мы образовались в 2012 году после объединения 3 университетов. Вот они здесь показаны. Вот то здание, в котором сейчас проводится наш форум, это здание Санкт-Петербургского государственного университета экономики и финансов, который образован в 1930 году. Кроме того, был объединен инженерно-экономический университет, который основан был в 1930 году, и университет сервиса экономики, более молодой, 1999 года. Таким образом, что позволило нам создать потенциал как в области экономики, так и в области инженерных наук, сервиса, туризма, гуманитарного направления. Буквально 2 слайда, характеризующие университет. Университет имеет многопрофильное образование, то есть это уровень бакалавриата, магистратуры и аспирантуры. Соответственно, у нас достаточно большое количество разнообразных программ и в области бакалавриата и магистратуры. Вы видите это на слайде. У нас есть соответствующие диссертационные советы, 9 из них по экономическим наукам. Есть совет по юриспруденции, по социальным наукам и по филологическим наукам. Структура университета создана на основе кафедр и факультетов. Есть несколько институтов, которые объединяют соответствующие программы образовательные. Это институт магистратуры, институт аспирантуры и Международный институт экономики и политики, который объединяет программы 2 дипломов. Мы работаем в этом направлении очень давно, с 1991 года, и сейчас имеем большой блок программ 2 дипломов уже с хорошей историей, и готовы предложить в этом направлении сотрудничества нашим партнерам, университетам Таиланда и российским университетам. Партнерские взаимоотношения очень обширные. В ВУЗе очень много компаний, с которыми мы сотрудничаем в плане научных исследований, в плане предоставления возможности прохождения практик нашим студентам и аспирантам и трудоустройства. Соответственно, большая обширная программа подписана с ПАО «Газпром». Это один из наших ведущих партнеров. Мы являемся опорным вузом «Газпрома» и работаем в области научных исследований, в области образовательных программ и в области подготовки кадров для «Газпрома», начиная с уровня бакалавриата и заканчивая уровнем аспирантуры и дополнительных программ. Здесь представлены основные наши направления работы с «Газпромом». Это как главная компания, так и дочерние компании, которые имеются во всех практически регионах России. Кроме того, есть международные представительства ПАО «Газпром», с которыми мы тоже сотрудничаем. Кроме того, значит, у нас еще есть несколько крупных партнеров, о которых я тоже хотела сказать. Это прежде всего транспортные компании ОАО «РЖД», крупнейшая транспортная железнодорожная компания России, с которой также подписано соглашение о международном сотрудничестве и о подготовке кадров. Сотрудничество с городскими различными структурами Санкт-Петербурга, в частности, это государственная компания «Водоканал Санкт-Петербурга», которая обеспечивает водоснабжение по всему Санкт-Петербургу. Мы проводим очень много значимых конференций, которые носят характер научно-исследовательских, практикоориентированных, образовательных конференций. Некоторые из них представлены вот на данном слайде. Буквально несколько таких представлений участия нашего в крупных международных событиях. В частности, это 36-я Генеральная Ассамблея Международной организации по стандартизации ИСО. Она 2 раза проводилась.
Standardization twice held in the Soviet Union once and in Russia once, respectively, and we met the representatives of the organization at the university. The 4th forum of ANQA, the European Network for Quality Education, for the first time held in Russia in 2014, and we hosted it. The university is quite active in expert examination, and our faculty and our experts work at different international forums. Eurasian, for example, Economic Forum held in St. Petersburg on a regular basis, and about 80 experts of ours work at these fora. We work within the Erasmus Plus capacity building programs, Tempus, and other programs, international programs. And here you can see some of the completed projects, the field of tourism, energy, sustainable development, quality of education. So invite partners, Russian universities, Thai universities, to take part in these programs. At the university, we have an international supervisory board that works with us, and they give us advice, and they work us in the process of the implementation of the development strategy. The contact information is here. We are most willing to work together. Thank you. And now, dear colleagues, I would like to give the floor to for a video presentation to Ramani Ranukrom, from the Chiang Mai University, Vice Rector for International Relations. You're welcome.
Лена, иди помогай. Что-то у меня не видно ничего. Так, ну где Татьяна Борисовна-то?
Здесь сейчас идет демонстрация.
Так, ждем техническое включение, коллеги. Да. Так, что-то у нас.
No, we're just waiting for the.
Надеюсь, сейчас будет.
I hope it works.
Сейчас один момент.
Да, сейчас нам помогут. Что ж такое-то, Илья? Закрой это, пожалуйста.
On behalf of Chiang Mai University, I'm delighted to learn about the hosting of the first
Коллеги, у вас что-то видно? Экран у вас темный или у меня вот темный? Темный экран. У вас, отзовитесь, пожалуйста.
Темный, да.
Ирина Анатольевна, давайте вы тогда продолжайте, пожалуйста. Мы попробуем сейчас с другого компьютера запустить через тогда выступление. Что-то не получается.
We suggest that we continue with other presentations and then we switch on. So our next speaker is Nadezhda Kamenina. Are you with us? Are you with us? No, she's not with us yet. Arseny will join us later. Alexander Leonidovich, you're with us, right? Maybe we should give the floor to you then. Right, because you're right there. Okay, allow me to give the floor to Alexander Shostakov, rector of the South Ural State University, National Research University. He will speak about the educational and scientific work of the university in South Urals. Ой, как тихо. Our university at the border of Europe and Asia, 2,000 kilometers from Moscow. This map demonstrates where we are in relation to Moscow. No, in Chelyabinsk, 3 million people who live in this area. It's an industrial area with developed metallurgy, metalworking, civil engineering, food industry, and all the world leaders who work in this field are represented in the South Urals region, and our university works with all of them. Our South Urals State University is among the research and scientific universities in Russia, and it's also a part of the program of the improvement of the quality of education. There are 28,000 students at the university, and we have 10 institutes and high schools, which are represented on the slide. And they cover scientific, technical, humanitarian fields, and the university carries out scientific research in all these fields. And in my short presentation, I will speak about the research work and education in IT sphere. In the basis, here we have a supercomputer technologies, and our university, starting with the year 2000, has been developing its supercomputers. They're all Russian-made, and here is the history of the development of our supercomputer. In 2012, the university, together with the Russian Corporation Rosamsit and the Institute of Programs of the Russian Academy of Science, created the first supercomputer with liquid cooling. And it's a unique characteristic of a computer, together with the State Moscow University and two other universities. Our university founded the Russian Association of Supercomputer Universities, and today there are over 50 Russian universities within the association. And the emergence of a powerful supercomputer made to the further development of modeling work. And what is so specific about that? Most of this work is done for the modeling of different engineering tasks. Some examples, if I may, we work on. Here is the modeling of the flow meter. This work was commissioned by Emerson, a leading company in this field of automation, and the work we carried out made it possible for them to improve the work of their flow meters. And here is the work on the re-entry vehicle, and it's another example. The modeling of the behavior of a pipeline in seismic zones. This work was done at the, well, as a commission from Sakhalin project, Sakhalin 1, Sakhalin 2 companies, and was successfully carried out at the university. Another interesting work on modeling is on the modeling of the composite elements for composite fan casing. And so the characteristics of these particular engines are much better, and we are actually at the end of the work to be carried out, that is being carried out, and we were able to work for the competitors of Airbus and Boeing, and this particularly led to the situation when the technologies of digital techniques require the digital copies, which are being used in different industries. Here is one example of these digital twins. The one is of a diesel engine developed at the university of ours. The next one is a digital twin of the gas turbine electric drive for aircraft, and a digital twin for a power plant. It's large-scale work. Here you can see the diagram, and it shows how well we can improve the efficiency, and it makes it better to control the work of the power plant. And then other examples of digital twins application. Actually, this is all followed by the artificial intelligence work, which is orientated at different fields of and different industries. There's a significant piece of work that we are completing, and this is we're working at one of the best metallurgical companies in the world there, and there is a digital twin of the rolling station, And the purpose is to predict and the forecast the resource, the lifespan of different types of equipment. And it is possible to do that with the help of our diagnostic system. And it just shows when it is necessary to carry out the maintenance and then repair works. Once we complete the work, we will be able to employ the artificial intelligence approach in different industries. Then another work carried out for the SMS Group, a German company, a leader in the world in metallurgical equipment. And here, using the neural networks, we worked on how to define what there is inside the crystallizers through which the liquid metal flows. And from 25% precision, we were able to raise it to a much, much higher level. And today we are completing this work, and the nomenclature increases, and we're moving towards the creation of a center of artificial intelligence at the university with the purpose of having an impact on the efficiency of the industry, of this particular industry. Now, engineering work in artificial intelligence area requires highly qualified engineers. And for that, we have the master's program at the university with digital industry, with fundamental computer science and mechatronics and robotics. And one of the leading European professors has been working with us on that. Altogether at the university, we have about 20 educational programs and curricula in English. I would like to mention this in particular, that they are quite popular. As students from foreign countries are quite active.
Foreign students, we have some 2,500 of those are actively choosing those programs, and they are different. It's not only the IT technologies, but also mathematics, mechanics, economics, management, legal sciences, psychology, etc. In conclusion of my brief presentation, I'd like to mention the following. 2 years ago, in China, we've opened 9 centers of a Pushkin Institute with the goal to assist the studies of Russian language in different universities of China. We have 29 agreements with different universities of China. This proved to be a very useful and positive experience. A special methodology was developed, and it enables to consider the phonetics of Chinese language. It makes it easier for Chinese people to study Russian. Same about the Thai students. Pushkin Institute can organize courses of Russian language in the universities of Thailand that are interested to have such a course. We have quite experienced and good teachers that can teach Russian at the universities of Thailand. Thanks for your attention.
Елена Анатольевна, звук включите, у вас выключен.
Елена Anatolyevna, you're muted. Please switch on the mic.
Елена Анатольевна, звук включите, пожалуйста.
Елена Anatolyevna, please switch on your mic.
Я прошу прощения.
My apologies for the technical drawback. Thanks a lot for a very interesting presentation. I should mention the following. I remember our great meetings with Mr. Alexander Shostakov in Finland at the Innovation Forum. Our rector was present too. At that time, we had the possibility to travel and to socialize in person. That was good for fruitful cooperation. What's to be done? Now that we have what we have, but hopefully in future we'll have the chance for personal communication. Dear colleagues, we're on a very tight schedule, so let me give the floor to Dmitry Arseniev, the Vice Rector on International Cooperation or Activities of the St. Petersburg University, named after Peter the Great. He will tell us about the research centers of global level as a driver of international cooperation and development in the field of education and science. You're welcome. Thank you. Can you hear me, dear colleagues? Yes, we hear you quite well. Thank you. Distinguished Madam Moderator Yelena is our great friend and colleague. Dear colleagues from the Kingdom of Thailand and from the Russian Federation, my greetings to you. We're very grateful to the organizers of this excellent first Forum of Rectors. We're thankful to the Union of Rectors, to the UNICON, to the Embassy of Russia in Thailand, and we're very grateful for the opportunity to make a presentation at this forum. My greetings to the participants of this session from St. Petersburg. That's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. The Historic Center of St. Petersburg is listed by UNESCO. And it's interesting to note that according to a popular international rating quiz, Energy St. Petersburg is among the top 10 most comfortable and accessible cities of the world for young youth and students. The Polytechnical University of St. Petersburg, named after Peter the Great, is one of the leading technical universities of Russia. In the year 2024, the university shall celebrate its 125th anniversary. So Thai colleagues are welcome to participate in our anniversary celebrations. We have 35,000 students at our university, including 8,500 foreign students. We are the 3 top universities regarding the percentage of foreign students. In 12 institutes and 38 higher schools of Polytechnical University, we train experts in different fields of natural sciences, engineering, and economy. You can see the list on the slide. 3 Nobel Prize winners are our alumni, and among the 2,000 professors and teachers, some 300 are invited from the leading global universities. We're the winner and participant of all the biggest Russian national programs for the development of science and education. We were in the year 7, we win the program Innovative University, National Research University in the year 10. Since the year 13, we participated in Academic Excellence Project 5100. We are the member of the program National Technology Initiative, and our latest achievement is the world-class researcher status in the field of innovative digital technologies. That's is now getting a fast development, as Mr. Shostakov mentioned. According to the most important assessments, our position is between 300 and 350. And we're number 4 in Russia regarding the rating Times Higher Education. According to the Times Higher Education rating, the University Impact Ranking reflects the role and the influence of the university regarding the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. We're number 37 in this regard, and we're number 5 regarding the development of clean energy systems. So we're very good in technical disciplines, physics, computer sciences, and in the year 20, we received 5 stars of our POES International rating in the field of online education. Our university has a unique campus, over 170 buildings, 23 dormitories for invited students and professors. On the territory of the university, we have 4 stations, underground stations, and we have official branches globally, in particular in China and in Spain. The university is located in a beautiful park, and its buildings are monuments of architecture. You can see pictures of some of the buildings of our university. The strategy is internationalization and international cooperation development. Our partner universities, over 320 from more than 70 countries. We have cooperation in all the strategic regions, and we developed a program of international academic mobility, common master and bachelor programs, including the double degree program, and we're very interested to develop our cooperation with Thai colleagues. The main partners are listed on the slide. We're leading in international research cooperation, participating in international projects with key scientific establishments and funds. We have cooperation with Siemens, Kawasaki, Toyota, LG, Airbus, and many others. University cooperates with universities from Thailand, and we want this cooperation to get bigger. Our 2 major partners are presented on the slide, and I'm happy to greet the colleagues from these universities. Now, our main cooperation is in the field of economics, that digital information of economics and digitalization of services. That's in demand during the pandemic. Also, management of innovations and sustainable development is a topic for cooperation. I believe our partnership shall get bigger after this forum. Between the Polytechnical University and the Universities of Thailand, we do have exchange of professors, students. Over 100 students from Thailand studied at our university lately. This year, in the online summer school of our Polytechnical University, 3 Thai students participated. Polytechnical University, as I've mentioned, attracts foreign students actively, and we have 8,500 students from 120 different countries. We're the leader in this field, and we are number 153 in the world regarding the number of foreign students. The Polytechnical University provides great opportunities for education for different programs, and I'm happy to invite students from Thailand. Training may be conducted both in Russian and in English languages. We have over 85 international educational programs, and we're proud of the biggest in Russia Polytechnical Summer School, which is participated by up to 1,300 students annually. PhD is going up as well. Now, the Minister of Education gave us the right to issue own PhD certificates, and that impacted the interest of foreign students to the PhD programs. When talking about teaching Thai students, please pay attention to the Open Doors Olympiad participation. The winners get grants to study at the best universities of Russia, both the bachelor and master degree. Open Doors Olympiad gives annually some 600 additional quotas for education. Some 80 PhD students and over 800 masters were chosen from 80,000 applications. Our university actively participates in this program, and we are the members of the organizational committee of the Open Doors Olympiad. The number of students from that Olympiad keeps growing, and the winners can study both master degree and a PhD. On the slide, you can get complete information about the Open Door Olympiad. Besides, there's the budget payment quotas from the Ministry of Education and Science of Russian Federation. It's done via the Rus-Сотрудничество and Russian Centers of Science and Culture at the embassies in Thailand. Getting a grant, one can study at different levels. We'll be happy to see students from Thailand at our international educational programs conducted in English in the summer and winter polytechnical schools. Now, talking about the opportunities for the development of technology and education, the Polytechnic University suggests to use the unique opportunities of the scientific center of a global level created in our university on the basis of Technopolis Polytechnical. You can see the picture of this science center. We won a very stringent competition strategy for scientific and technological development and got the right to create a world-class research center for advanced digital technologies. Altogether, there are 10 centers of a kind in Russia in different fields. NSMO, that center, unites 35 scientific research labs in most important fields, cooperates with research institutes and industrial enterprises. And we're in partnership with many educational establishments and companies. We're united in 5 clusters according to the topics, that is advanced digital technologies, additive manufacturing, new materials and robotics, big data and artificial intellect, digital technologies in medicine, and climate and energetics. Talking about advanced digital technologies, one should mention important properties like the first electromobile Kama-1 presented in the end of the year 2020. It was developed by the Polytechnical Institute together with Kama's company. See the red car on the photo. Also, simulation in mechanics and space technologies done on the order of companies Boeing, Airbus, and Energy Space Agency. Beam technologies are made for the biggest objects of St. Petersburg, Russia. That's the Hermitage Museum simulation when constructing the dam in the Gulf of Finland near St. Petersburg, etc. As for the cluster on additive technologies, we cooperate with Russian and foreign companies. We've created a number of common labs and enterprises with Chinese colleagues in particular. The main research topics are unique methods of welding and soldering new materials for medicine and industry. The biomedicine doesn't have to be introduced. It's a very important topic. Lately, we've learned due to the pandemic how important it is. Thanks to the good labs of our biomedical cluster, Polytech Nickel University is conducting scientific research in the fields of virology, nuclear medicine, cell technologies, and biotechnologies, in close partnership with the leading academia of Russia, the Academy of Sciences of Russia, and some foreign partners. We use the resources of our supercomputer center, which is one of the biggest in Russia. Scientists from the AI cluster and big data division do have projects in the fields of high technologies and intellectual systems, cyber physical systems, intellectual management, and operation systems, including machine vision. We're supported by Siemens, Philips, Huawei, Rostech, and others. The issues of sustainable development and environment protection are taken by the relevant cluster, and this may be interested for our time partners. Renewable energy is another important topic. We have wind energy objects located on the shelf as well. Urban planning is of importance. We want our cities to be environmental. A lot of projects we have in biotechnologies, ecology, using biofuel and seaweeds to get clean energy. Sorry, your time is over. In conclusion, let me once again provide the main suggestions of our university. We suggest to develop the scientific cooperation using our global level center. We invite colleagues, professors, and researchers from Thailand to participate in common research, to experiment in our labs, to prepare publications and participate in conferences. We invite students from Thailand to our university PhD and master programs. Innovative companies are welcome to support educational programs and scientific research. We hope for government support for the development of our cooperation. These may be competitions, contests, grants, and the relevant national funds. We believe that relevant specialized seminars could activize our partnership. The Polytech University is always welcoming cooperation innovations. We are expecting the end of pandemic to have a chance to invite Thai colleagues to St. Petersburg and our wonderful university. Thanks again to organizers, and thanks for your attention. Good health and good luck to you. Thank you, Dmitry Germanovich, for a very detailed presentation. We know the Polytechnical University of St. Petersburg is one of the best in Russia, not only in St. Petersburg. We cooperate a lot in different projects, both national and international. Thanks a lot to you and to your rector, Andrei Rudskoy. We believe he's a great friend of our university. Thank you. Now, dear colleagues, let me give the floor to Nadezhda Kamynina. She is director of the Moscow State University of Surveillance. She is the representative of Russian Federation in Bologna Fellow-Up Group, and she'll tell us about the cooperation of Russia and Thailand with the initiatives of European Union. Nadezhda, the floor is yours. Thank you, Elena. Good day, dear colleagues. First of all, I'd like to thank for the chance to address such a distinguished audience. Now, let me tell you about the aspects of cooperation between Russia and Thailand that may be carried out with the attraction of resources of Bologna process and of the program Erasmus+.
Today, our dialogue is taking place shortly after a very important event for the academic community, the Conference of the Ministers of the Higher Education of the European Space and the Bolognian Forum, which brings together all the interested parties and countries. Traditionally, within the framework of this particular event, a document is adopted, the Paris Communiqué, which records all the main goals of the academic community development under conditions of the pandemic. Well, of course, distancing increases in education, and the offline is replaced by online education. And of course, we really need to think about the quality of education under these realities. And so many of the documents are dedicated to the quality, to the quality of education under conditions of distance learning. And emphasizing this problem, I still would like to speak about the areas of cooperation, which today could be of interest for our two countries. Apart from the joint educational programs, apart from the scientific and research work, the bilateral cooperation can have a form of academic exchange, and there are very good practices and practical examples of that between Russia and Thailand, um, between faculty and students, in order to make this system and this practice more active. Our educational systems should apply all European documents, which do not limit their jurisdiction by Europe, but they speak about the academic cooperation. So I can mention here the credit exchange and the registering, the mutual registering of the titles and ranks, the quality curricula and the assessment of those. All these documents are available at the site of the European Commission, and all these documents can be quite a convenient, comfortable instrument for the universities of Russia and Thailand. Allow me to say that within the Erasmus Plus program today, there are indeed windows of opportunity for cooperation. Our universities can work together creating academic content, and apart from that, they can also carry out joint scientific and research work within the Jean Monnet program. And as for there is information concerning that, again, on the site of the European Commission at Erasmus Plus page. And I think it is quite an interesting approach to the intensification of the first experience for the universities that do not have partnerships with Russian and Thai universities. So it's a very useful instrument, providing additional financial support, institutional support, and creating a good platform for further interaction. I would like to emphasize the importance of partnership, bilateral partnership. The thing is that if we analyze the development of the academic agenda in Thailand and Russia, we'll see that there is a lot in common, that we have a lot of common things, like the number of students and the scientific academic priorities are quite similar. And it seems to me that bilateral dialogue could be most useful, could give very positive results in our intergovernment cooperation. Thank you. Thank you. That was very briefly about the potential. I hope that our colleagues are able to find the necessary information, and if there are questions, of course, we will be able to continue our discussion outside the framework of the forum. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. Thank you very much indeed. For many years, we have been working together, and Nadezhda is well known to us because she's the one who has been working with Jean Monnet and Erasmus Plus programs, and this has been going on for years. Indeed, these are interesting programs. We had joint programs, interesting products were received as a result, orientated at practical results. And methods worked out in the process are used now in order to improve the quality of education. Thank you very much. Now, colleagues, our next speaker is Zhanna Nikonova, rector of the Nizhny Novgorod Linguistic University, and she will speak about the University of Nizhny Novgorod and Thailand, educational and scientific work for the future. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues, participants of the first forum of the rectors of Russia and Thailand. Allow me to put on my presentation. Hope you can see it well enough.
Надеюсь, видно, да?
Yeah, right, you can see it. Yes, right, it's up there. Now, colleagues, I represent the Nizhny Novgorod Linguistic University. The university is named after Dobrolubov. A few words about the location of the university. Here on the map, you can see that it's European space of Russia, and Nizhny Novgorod as related to the main cities of Russia, Moscow and St. Petersburg. And we can say that those students who come to us have an opportunity to enjoy the beauty of the capitals. It's 400 kilometers to Moscow, just 3.5 hours, and to St. Petersburg, it's 1,000 kilometers, 8 hours by a high-speed train. So these are the wonderful possibilities provided by the transport systems. And the atmosphere of Nizhny Novgorod was unique. The city turns 800 years this year. It is a confluence of two great rivers, Volga and Oka, Oka and Volga. And here there is a lot of interesting sites and unique sites indeed. And our foreign students, we have a lot of them in the city, enjoy not only the beauty of the area, but also enjoy the fact that Nizhny Novgorod is an intellectual center of Russia. There are 16 schools of higher learning in Nizhny Novgorod. They are big enough, and there are many representatives of different countries with us. So in this sense, we are a unique university because we are a multicultural educational space, uniting the old traditions and innovations of the global level. We were founded over 100 years ago, and we're an elite educational institution in Russia. And the core of our curricula is linguistic profile. In all the educational programs of ours, at all levels, bachelor's, master's, postgraduate, no matter which particular field you take, students study no less than 3 foreign languages, rare languages among others. The Thai language is part of the curriculum, not only additional programs and curricula, but and the general curricula and for high-level qualifications. The students who come from abroad to study tourism or international management or global economy can get acquainted with the language and culture of the country, of this or that country. 17 foreign languages, as I said, are being taught with us, and this makes it possible to pull together many of the programs and curricula. The master's programs are mostly in foreign languages. One specific feature, we have a preparatory course for foreign students at which we help the foreign students to get education in Russia And we work not only for our university, but for other universities of the country. Our programs are modular programs, and thus it is possible to incorporate different special disciplines which orientate foreign students at further education in technical schools, medical schools, and other types of schools with which we have agreements. Um, and it has been quite fruitful, and our cooperation with the Nizhny Novgorod Medical University, for which we have been training specialists. The Russian language studies for foreign students is in English to begin with. Then the share and the part of the Russian language increases, thus we save time and we make the training process most effective when we teach foreigners Russian. And we also train the Russian language lecturers for foreign students. This is a profile of ours. So let me also say that at our university, we traditionally train interpreters and translators. The School of Interpreters of Nizhny Novgorod is one of the best, probably the best in Russia. And in this sense, we can mention numerous projects, including different research projects concerning the translation of literature in different languages. Our university has a well-developed infrastructure, and all the foreign students with us are provided with the dormitory rooms, which is quite rare for a school of higher learning these days, but we have this opportunity. Then another specific feature, all students, foreign students among others, are involved in scientific and research work within the framework of our labs, of our institutes, which we do have for different aspects of training. We are well represented in the internet, in social media, and many of the programs and curricula of the prep course and the main and extra programs are on the online platform, which makes it possible to teach foreign students, to teach them online. In 2020, this was very important for us. The situation made it possible to give an extra stimulus for the development of the online programs for foreigners. We have about 70 partners abroad, among universities abroad, and the schools and universities from Thailand are quite important for us in this sense. The Thai language is taught, has been taught since 2015. Then on the 10th of November, within the framework of the project of the Ministry of Education of the Russian Federation for the promotion of the Russian language, the program was entitled Education in Russian. And according to the agreement with the Thammasat University, the delegation of our university took part in the opening of the Russian Language Center at the University of Mamasar. And this event started other forms of cooperation. In 2018, we signed a large scale agreement and with schools in Thailand. Academic and cultural exchange in the field of education and science are the basis of that. Particularly popular were the summer schools, during which we orientate many of our guests from Thailand at getting education in Russia, not only in Nizhny Novgorod, but in other parts of the country as well. A very special place in our cooperation with Thailand is taken by the cooperation with the Thammasat University. The representatives of the university always display great interest in the Russian language studies. We discuss with them the teaching of the faculty and the students within the framework of the exchange programs. And then there is also a systemic participation of Russian and Thai lecturers in different international events. Of particular importance for us is the interaction of two centers, the Russian language at the Tamasar University and the Center of Thai Language and Culture at the Nizhny Novgorod University of Linguistics. And the interaction of these centers provides us a new incentive. Every single time we made a new incentive towards the development of further cooperation between the two countries. And then, of course, if we take part in this particular session dedicated to education and science, and we speak first of all about the scientific cooperation, I need to say that our university is very active in training the national specialist for Thailand in the field of science. One of the students have gone through training at the PH department, and now he is ready to defend his dissertation in the Russian language. Chusovan came to us hardly with any knowledge of the Russian language. At present, he is communicating with everyone. He knows the language quite well, and he is ready to speak Russian at the procedure of the dissertation defense. And we wish him great success, and his example makes it possible for us to say that we would like to expand our capacities in this particular aspect. We would like to be able to do more for the science-oriented students from Thailand. We are not only carrying out joint scientific events, but we also have some successful experience of joint publications. And you can see here the cover of the book dedicated to the Russian language in the countries of the Pacific Asian region. The conference took part in Bangkok last year. These are the proceedings. We not only take part in the organization of the conference, but also in the publishing of the proceedings. And we're moving on with that because these joint methods of work allow us to cooperate scientific research in the field of humanities. And here, the selection of the topics that are suggested in the project groups at such events, or within the framework of the current cooperation, allows us to make serious contribution into the development of science, both in Thailand and in Russia, and to move towards that together. And then the future shows that we must follow our plans in spite of the difficulties of the current situation. We can see that the state-of-the-art technologies make it possible to go us above the pandemic and difficulties created by it and achieve goals in spite of everything. And so when all these constraints are removed, we hope that the mobility, scientific academic mobility develops, that there will be summer schools. Last year, the summer schools were online, but we're planning summer schools for this summer. And we have 40 students now who went through training already within that particular program. And I do hope that over the next couple of years, this number increases manifold. which will lead to better mutual understanding, which it will lead to deeper cooperation, and will also help the young people of our country work together on different, most topical issues. First of all, in science, in humanities, because the present day world is technocratic and does not give much space for the development of human beings in this digital world. That's what we intend to work on. All the information is available on the official site, and we'll be happy, together with other schools of the Russian Federation, as part of the working group that Professor Sadovnici mentioned. So we'll be able to work together. We have a lot of experience. Experience of interaction, of communication, of cooperation with our colleagues and counterparts, and from time to time. So we really like you very much, and we expect you to visit us. Shana, thank you very much. I think that what you are doing is extremely important, because without the knowledge of the foreign languages, it's hardly possible to work together in education or in science. I hope you all agree with me. So indeed, what you are doing is extremely important. And the qualifications upgrading is important. And this cooperation with the Thai universities is important, yes. Language studies are important. It's important for people to be able to read in their own language and so to get acquainted with publications in their own language. So translation work is important. Right, we continue. We will try to be within the time framework, stay within the allocated time. We have just 10 minutes left. Allow me to give the floor now to Dmitry Klonov, advisor of the Director General of the St. Petersburg Technopark. Infrastructural opportunities of the St. Petersburg Technopark for applied research and commercialization of the results. No, there you are. Dmitry Yurievich, are you there? Join us. I can see you. You're there. Yes, good afternoon.
Да.
Да, пожалуйста, запускаем презентацию, демонстрация внизу, вот зеленая кнопочка.
Well, the demonstration is up there. Now you can see my presentation. First of all, I would like to thank you for the discussion. It was interesting for me to learn about the universities that are not in St. Petersburg. The Technopark began to get interested in innovations at the schools since the foundation. But we began to work on this particularly intensively a bit later when we examined the transfer of technologies at the schools of higher learning. And the results of the research of the study showed that 10 to 15% of the work carried out by the scientific staff are taken as far as the practical level. That's simply because of the low level of communication between the schools, the universities, venture investors, and industrial enterprises. And that is then we decided to take upon ourselves the function of the hub, bringing together the entities. Well, of course, since then, time has gone, and I can see the example of our partners from the St. Petersburg schools, from the Polytechnic, from other universities, and I can see that the situation has improved for the better. But still, there is a certain gap between the scientific research and what the industries need. And we help the two find each other at our platform. That's why we have a mini system which responds to the requests of the major players in the innovation market, business, industries, and professional communities. And at present in the Technopark, there are 6 directorates, as we call them. Some of them are consultants, a business incubator Ingria, the St. Petersburg Center of Cluster Development, and other directorates are mostly engineering and industrial, the Center of Prototyping, and 3 regional engineering centers. Creating this structure, we first were orientated at the needs of our customers, the industrial enterprises that need new technologies, but still they were not ready to risk and invest into their own structure. So we took upon ourselves this particular task, and the Technopark today helps to about 150 companies every month. We help them speed up the process of development and start their work with the industrial customers. Some of these 150 companies are scientific projects not ready for the development within the framework of their own research centers and schools. Why was it happening? Unfortunately, there is still a gap between what the technological specialists see and how they understand the development of the project in business, and our colleagues from the business incubator and the Center for Cluster Development help them with that. But if we take the engineering center and the prototyping center, then first of all, the consultations are provided by specialists and equipment is provided. Sometimes it's rare equipment, even for Russia. They work successfully with industrial companies there and with the universities, with the laboratories, because at the same center of prototyping, they can help with the complex and sophisticated models. They can provide different testing systems, and all this makes the process much shorter and optimizes the expenses. If we take the international projects, then here, of course, we're interested in them because very often it is mutually beneficial cooperation, which allows our residents and partners enter new markets. And for that purpose, we organize specialized programs when we demonstrate companies from Russia opportunities they can get at the markets of other countries. And we are an entrance gate for the foreign companies to the Russian high-tech market. These projects were successfully implemented with our Finnish partners, with the partners from the countries of the former USSR. And we keep developing our contacts with science. Since 2019, our business incubator has been working on the programs, the UNIC program, commercial use of the results of scientific and research work. And we have been enrolling participants at the site of the business incubator. As I said, the specialists of the centers work with schools of higher learning, help them with the technical documents, and so we worked with Bosch and helped in establishing contacts. The Center of Cluster Developments is a curator of 16 St. Petersburg cluster. These are different associations incorporating not only industrial companies, but also the educational institutions associated with that particular field. And if the high schools are involved in that, they get access to different funding sources, and they get orders from the industries for the training of specialists. And as I said, our engineering centers work on the basis of the new technologies, and the very fact that they work in our city is a great advantage for some of the schools, because they are able to involve their students into the internships. Now, if we take international cooperation, then one final result I would like to share with you. It's a launching of an infrastructural project, the Park of Living Systems, within the framework of cross-border cooperation, Russia, Southeast Finland, a new site with the research center, laboratory, and educational center. And all this will be related to molecular genetics and chemical synthesis. Now, well, I tried to fit into the time allocated to describe the infrastructural support we are willing to provide for the scientific work and practical work promotion. I said we are for the international cooperation, and we're always ready to establish new contacts. We're a part of the regional system of innovation that brings industrial companies, schools of higher learning, authorities, and the communities. And of course, we are ready to involve our partners from Thailand as well into the system. And thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Dmitry. I can say again and again that our university works in a very close contact with the Techno Park. The specialists from Technopark are involved in our educational process, in our scientific and research work, take part in the conferences. So we are actively engaged in mutual work. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would recommend everyone to get acquainted with the presentation. And for the schools of Thailand, for the schools of Russia, it's important to get acquainted with this experience. We'll try to connect to the Chiang Mai University with video presentation. Now it works, right?
On behalf of Chiang Mai University,
At
delighted to learn about the hosting of the first Rectors Forum on Russia in Thailand on the topic Education in Russia and Thailand, Dialogue with the Digital Society. Diplomatic relations between the Federation of Russia and the Kingdom of Thailand dated back more than 120 years ago. Economic, political, and social relations between our two countries are developing with a growing of trade relations, touristic flow, and cultural events. The launch of this first Rectors Forum of Russia and Thailand strongly serves the purpose of developing social relations, fostering academic exchanges, and research collaboration in both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Chiang Mai University is one of Thailand's foremost institutions of higher education. Founded in 1964, it was established as the first institution of higher education in northern Thailand and as the first provincial and comprehensive university in the nation. Our university, with a vision, a leading university committed to social responsibility and sustainable development, has duly earned a reputation as a veritable institution, maintaining high academic standards as the top 3 universities in the nation, paving its way forward to be an important education hub in the region. These results demonstrate Chiang Mai University's academic and research strength, a necessary prerequisite for university to be recognized as a research-oriented university. As we all know, the pandemic changed the global processes, promoting digital globalization in all areas, especially in education, being the drivers of scientific and academic, cultural and social, technical and frequently political innovations. Universities communicate and implement key tasks of this strategic development to the community about this transformation of the university's goals. This digital environment allows to emerge efficient international academic collaboration, exchanges of ideas, and best practices, science promotion, innovations boost via this new platform that you know. Chiang Mai University remains vigilant regarding the coronavirus situation and was quick to respond, implementing policies in order to reduce the risk of viral transmission on campus. Such policies include work from home and creating online learning modules for our students and teachers, as well as enabling a research team to work on production of masks and ventilators. This COVID-19 situation has demonstrated the need for a widespread coordinated response and is teaching us many lessons, which we would later on like to share with our partners in order to mutually strengthen our capabilities, minimize the impact of this situation as quickly as possible. As for the collaboration between Chiang Mai University and Russia, particularly Russian universities, our mutual interests can start with science and technology innovation, collaboration. We're hoping that we'll be able to enhance our research collaboration in this area, leading to startups for the benefits of our students and particularly young entrepreneurs. Another possible area for collaboration between our universities could be the teaching and learning of our languages, Russian and Thai. Chiang Mai University is offering an undergraduate program in Thai foreign language, as well as a tailor-made Thai language program according to the needs of the learners, which I hope will be of interest to Russian students. We're also hoping to offer a language class in Russian at our university, which requires a native speaker who is able to teach Russian as a foreign language to us Thai. This Russian course can be offered to both students at our university and non-degree students in order to learn more about Russian language and culture. These areas of collaboration can be a starting point of our academic collaboration, which I believe later on we can extend our collaboration with our Russian partner universities in other areas of our mutual interests. I sincerely hope that this first Rectors Forum of Russia and Thailand provides a great opportunity for academic leaders of the top Russian universities and ours to share innovative ideas of collaboration, which will enable us all to at least get acquainted to one another as a starting point. Although I'm unable to join the forum in person, I'm confident this digital connectivity between our academic institutes can be deepened, and it is with pleasure to wish this first forum and all its participants the most rewarding experience. Thank you. Spasibo.
Спасибо большое, уважаемые коллеги.
Well, thank you very much, colleagues.
Поэтому, конечно, огромная благодарность
We are most
проректору.
grateful to the university and the vice rector for international relations for these kind words. And we can see that there is a wish to cooperate, and we were able to enjoy the beauty of Thailand. And before the 8th of March, International Women's Day, we all want to go to Thailand, indeed. Now, I can say right away that, of course, we're willing to cooperate in different fields. And the sphere of tourism, business tourism, academic tourism is of particular importance for us. And Thailand develops that, and St. Petersburg also develops that, and many of the universities work on that. And those universities that spoke about their activities here mentioned the knowledge of the languages, different economic programs, and programs in the sphere of service and tourism could be of interest for the universities of Thailand. That's why we have two more speakers. We invited two representatives of different spheres. On the one hand, representing exhibitions. That's a research center in the development of new sectors of economy, Helena. And another topic is the role of the scientific centers and research centers in the development of new sectors of economy. And the other presentation is dedicated to the development of the tourism in St. Petersburg. First, Elena Viktorovna. Elena Cherterkina.
Коллеги, видно, да?
No, colleagues, I hope you can see the presentation. Right, yes, we can.
Видно презентацию, да?
Да, все видно, пожалуйста.
Добрый день, коллеги. Я очень благодарна вам за приглашение.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a great honor for me to take part in this most representative forum and so topical under the present day conditions. And I will try to limit my presentation to a short period. And so I represent the RNC, Market Research Center. Our center is the only company in Russia that offers consulting and marketing services in the event industry. And since the 20th century, we have been working together with the University of Economics, and we are happy to cooperating. It's a quite fruitful cooperation, and it's a very good example of the integration of research and education. And We're always looking for the new forms and methods of work and cooperation. Within the portfolio of our company, there are services of departmental consulting, regional marketing, events and their organization, and media events. And representatives of our company among the leaders in different international associations, in the Association of Fairs and Exhibitions in Russia, the World Association of Fairs and Exhibitions, and that was an interesting presentation by the representative of the Nizhny Novgorod University. The fair there was one of the founders of this Association of the Industry, and of course the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. And RNC company started, it's important for events as the event forum, the first in Russia forum for the representatives of the event industry, the event life forum for professionals in the event industry. Our company builds its activity as a departmental media holding. We accumulate and we promote and we develop different information and marketing resources and channels in the interests of a branch or participants of work or representatives of certain field. And we specialize in event industry. The slide, you can see what we are doing. I'm not going to list that, but allow me to move to the marketing and consulting part of our work. The marketing studies, that's a very important instrument for effective strategical decisions. And here we're listing different aspects of the work we carry out. Then, apart from the research work, we carry out quite a lot of analytical work. And you know that the life cycle on any product starts with the business idea. But in order to assess and to appreciate this product, this project, we need to carry out serious research and serious calculations. And this is what our company is doing. Regional marketing, each and every region has its own identity, and I'm happy to see that the forum brings together a lot of talented representatives of the universities from different regions of the country. It's wonderful to be able to see that, and we would like to thank the organizers for the idea and for all the work done when making up the program. And it's a unique image of the destination, selection of the strong aspects of it, promotion within the country and abroad. That's what the marketing of the territory is doing. It makes the destination more attractive, not only for tourists, but also for the organizers, for the local community, and for the student community, among other communities. And that was something that was mentioned by the speakers. And it's good to know that foreign students do come to study at the universities here. And with the help of the regional marketing, we can change the notion of the investors of the companies, of the schools that are in the region. So this is all a part of the regional marketing. Professional and business events, exhibitions, fora, festivals, and music festivals, among others. These are all the represent the image of the region of, and they help a lot. And in Russia, this particular type of marketing is being actively developed. And on this slide, you can see what we are doing in this particular field and what we can help with. And Russia is a big country, of course, and the regions are to be promoted. And since we within the event industry, the ranking of the destination and event. This is something that is unique for us in Russia. And here in the slide, you can see top 20. That's how we assess the 83 regions of the country. The top 20 are represented here. You can get acquainted with the rating in more detail at the site of our company. Our goal is to assess the potential of the event industry in the regions, and the studies are carried out on the annual basis, and the results are traditionally represented at the beginning of the year at the Eurasian Event Forum. Next, we, as a company, provide consulting and training. Success of any event, particularly business event, depends on numerous factors: the economic situation, the country, the region, the topics selected, the venue itself, the contractors, the speakers, and our company works on that. And as a consultant, we carry out the work with the companies that want to have their own events. From consulting, we move towards training. Because at the we do have quite a number of these training and educational products in compliance with the needs of the marketplace. Sometimes a lot depends on the parties involved. Not just the ones who organizing an event, but also on the ones who are invited to that. And these programs improve the efficiency and the efficacy of the events. Training is carried out by the Russian and foreign experts in the event industry. Next. These are events and media. In the media portfolio, we have the Congress Time journal, the digest of the industry of meetings, and published by us and commissioned by the parties. I would like to say a few words about the library. In the library, you will find Russian and foreign periodicals and reference literature concerning the event sphere. Here you can see some of our publications. And
собственное издание, проект носит библиотека.
This project represents the dictionaries, the dictionary of terms for the industry of meetings. Yellow is for professions, blue is for key terms and notions for congresses and exhibitions, and this year, marketing and destination management. Which was well received by the sector, by the industry. Yes. No, Congress Time, that is the only journal for the professionals in this field. It's a quarterly publication on the different events. The portal, Event Life, monthly digest, And then Eurasian Event Forum, I mentioned this forum. Along with it, we have the Event Live Forum organized, and in our portfolio, there are also awards and competitions. Here's the FAIR Awards. And a few words now about the Event Talents Competition. The representatives of St. Petersburg University of Economics have taken part in that and were able to win. So here is a student of Professor Vasilyeva as a specialized international competition of the young specialists of industry of meetings. We invite professionals under 30 years of age. They work in different companies and PR agencies, event agencies. University students can take part in that free. It's an annual competition along with the Eurasian Event Forum, the Content Center, and right. So let me say, these are the partners of ours, and so we carry out different types of research. And here is a list of the surveys we carried out, and here are the results of one of the research programs. It's the impact of the pandemic on the event business. You can see here the effect on the number of events. We can see that some events did take place. Some were postponed, and quite a lot of events had to be carried out online, and some of the companies began to work online, and this is true for our company as well. And we carried out the event therapy, so to speak. It was an online marathon with master classes and seminars and webinars dedicated to event industry. It was designed to support our colleagues, to make sure that there is a platform for sharing ideas. It was the first time that we found ourselves in this difficult situation. So we worked online. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. If there are questions, you can find my contact information here. We're ready to cooperate and willing to cooperate. And thank you very much. Thank you, Yelena. We were happy to hear you mentioning the university of ours, and one of the authors of the materials, Elena Vasilyeva, who was the head of the Center of International Projects at the university and helped me to organize this particular session. Now allow me to give the floor to Mikhail Zak, Deputy Director General of St. Petersburg State Institution City Tourist Information Bureau. Opportunities for development of academic tourism in St. Petersburg. Most interesting. So representatives of universities here and Russia, Thailand, and academic tourism. That's something very important for us. We understand that a year ago we used to go to conferences, seminars, and we discussed internships and exchange, but there are always cultural events accompanying those. Academic tourism is a very proper term, I would say, because this brings culture and academic approaches together. Thank you. Тихо, плохо слышно. Михаил Зак.
Безусловно, в первую очередь хотел поблагодарить организаторов форума за приглашение.
I would like to thank the organizers of the forum for the invitation to speak. This is a great honor for me, and in my short presentation, I would like to speak about the potential of St. Petersburg for academic tourism.
На секунду, какой-то сбой. Тут. Сейчас. Секунду. И почему-то не пошел.
Так. Михаил Юрьевич, просьба
Да-да.
такая, говорить погромче, если можно, потому
Да.
что переводчики плохо вас слышат, не могут переводить текст.
Хорошо. Так, слышно меня? Добрый
Погромче,
день.
пожалуйста.
Добрый день еще раз.
Thank you once again. I'm better, much better. I'm Deputy
Бюро.
Director of the City Tourist Information Bureau. I would like to speak about the academic tourism potential of St. Petersburg. Very briefly, St. Petersburg today is one of the recognized world centers of tourism. In 2019, we're among the first as the cultural.
Да, пожалуйста. И ведущий направление городского туризма.
And right here we are.
Слышно меня?
Ну так, ну слышно более-менее, да.
Да-да, слышно, сейчас все переключили, да, пожалуйста.
Хорошо. So St. Petersburg is a major transport node in Russia. It's easy to get here, and it's easy to use it as a transit point, and there is also the regimen of the open sky acting here. So it's easy enough for foreign companies to fly into St. Petersburg. And there are 5 railway stations in St. Petersburg. There is also river and maritime transport between Russia and Russian regions and foreign countries. And thanks to Allegra and Sapsan high-speed trains, it's easy to get to Helsinki within 4 hours, to Moscow also 4 hours. St. Petersburg, there is one of the major maritime passenger ports, and with 800,000 passengers capacity, and cruise ships and the sea facade, and there is an easy visa-free regimen there for 48 hours. So St. Petersburg is a unique city for many. One can enjoy the beauty of the city and also get acquainted with the legendary theaters and museums. And the city is in the list of World Heritage of UNESCO. And St. Petersburg is also working on the issues of safety for travelers. And we developed the standards of safety regulating the work of different tourist organizations and companies. And today, several hundred organizations in the hospitality sector have special codes which prove that they are safe for visitors. And the academic tourism for today in St. Petersburg, there are about 90 schools of higher learning, many libraries, and over 100 museums. And St. Petersburg offers a unique opportunity for educational and academic tourism and research tourism as well. In 2019, a project of the unique geographical location was started. The purpose was to attract attention to the new clusters, not that well known to the visitors, cultural education, designer creative cluster, enabling us to get acquainted with an absolutely new aspect of St. Petersburg. Thus, apart from the traditional palaces, parks, and museums, the itineraries include the spaces of the old port of Kronstadt, New Holland, and other interesting new sites and spaces of St. Petersburg. Well, of course, we must recognize that the pandemic brought about new trends and a need to adapt. So on the official site Visit St. Petersburg, there was organized a special page which is dedicated to that, where you can follow what's happening in the city, in the cultural life, you depending on the situation. A separate project that, even at the time of the pandemic, made it possible to get acquainted with different pedestrian routes, called St. Petersburg Sledder Stop, Pathways in St. Petersburg. So in the social media, on the different portals, you can find description of those. St. Petersburg is one of the gastronomic capitals of Russia. Many of the Muscovites have already tasted that, and the same is true for many visitors, domestic and foreign. Many of the restaurants of St. Petersburg are believed to be among the best in the country. St. Petersburg is known for high quality fast food and bar culture. And the information can be found on the respective portals. St. Petersburg invites to organize weddings for anyone who wants to have a wedding here, including brides and bridegrooms from abroad. Again, you can find information on the respective sites. St. Petersburg traditionally is associated with recreation and time spent during the white nights. But there are also different events planned for other seasons. For the winter, for example, Christmas, spring, Rus-Thai celebrations. And again, you can find information about that on the official site. Industrial tourism. We can get acquainted with different companies of St. Petersburg, from the Imperial Porcelain Works up to the ice cream factory. Tourism for children. Children can easily find what to do in the theaters and the museums, in different types of learning centers. And it's good for families with children. And we should also say that, of course, St. Petersburg is a city of different events. Numerous interesting events are being held here. And I hope at one of the sessions of the forum we'll be able to demonstrate a video dedicated to them. The list of events can be found on the site of Visit St. Petersburg in the calendar. There are 13 representative offices of St. Petersburg nowadays in the world, and there you can get acquainted with information concerning different aspects of our life. And our bureau, Tourist Information Bureau, is developing an ecosystem indeed, which provides information support online and offline. You can get all the necessary information with us on the cultural and touristic life of St. Petersburg. I tried to be very brief, and I do know that it was not that easy, because there is so much we can say about the cultural life in St. Petersburg. First of all, I would like all of you to visit St. Petersburg portal, and I hope that with the improvement of the epidemiological situation, St. Petersburg will be happy to welcome visitors. Those who come for education, for research and scientific work are also welcome, and I hope that we'll be able to show the video dedicated to the festival, The Wonder of the World, with the art images installed in the city. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, that was most interesting. And indeed, I hope I'm right when I say that there are practically no people who do not like St. Petersburg once they visit the city. If they visit the city, then the city stays with them forever. So, which is nice to know for all of us, for those who live here. We are hospitable people, friendly people, and we're always expecting our partners and our friends in the city. Thank you very much. So, program of academic tourism. I hope that we will work on it together with you, and it will be most interesting. And it's important to work on it together with our partners from the universities of Thailand. So we'll work together on that. And I hope, Mikhail, that we work on a program like that together. Your support will be most important for us. Thank you for what you're doing. Now, we have exhausted the list of speakers. As a moderator, I'm ready to answer your questions, and the speakers are ready to do that. If you're willing to say a few words, you're welcome. Now, we're late with time, but well, we're at the final session, so we're not that limited. So, any questions? Unfortunately, our Thai colleagues are too far away from us, and there was only one presentation made during the session, but nonetheless, they were part of the session. No? Any questions? There are questions in chat. Do we have them? No. There are general things. There are no questions in chat. All right, then we'll round up the session. Education and science, I would like to thank all of you now. Thank you for interesting presentations. Thank you for the opportunities provided by the universities to each other. We hope very much that together we'll be able to work on interesting projects within the framework of cooperation, academic mobility, joint educational programs, and scientific and research work together. That's what we are aiming at. I'm quite sure that publications and teamwork, that's also very important for us. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. I was happy to meet you. Thank you.